So today's topic, some of the topics we'll cover this evening, move-out process, pre-inspection walkthrough or pre-move-out walkthrough, cleaning options, allotment choices, final inspection day, some tips for that. Xfinity and Comcast equipment returns will also be covered in this. And then a few helpful tips that we find are always helpful from year over year. Move out process. So this year, the move out process will look a little differently than the last, I believe, 2 years or 3. We will be conducting pre-move out walkthroughs in April or April-May timeframe alongside our maintenance team with the annual PMs that will be done on the homes that you reside in. Most of those will probably be later April to early May start, unless it's otherwise scheduled a different time. So for instance, if we have a student leaving earlier than the scheduled time, we of course will coordinate that with them directly. But otherwise, if you are leaving with majority of the class this year, we will do those pre-move out walkthroughs with you during the same time as our maintenance team doing the annual preventative maintenance. Those schedules will be sent out. So I have another slide and a little bit of further information onto those later in the brief. Final move out date. This year, final move out date is 24 June. Unless there is an approved exception. If there is a circumstance that a service member or their family is facing that they are unable to meet that deadline, it is imperative that you have those communications with us now or as soon as you know about them. And that way we can work those pieces. There are certain exceptions that may be approved, but we do also have to kind of take a look at the planning process for the incoming families as well and take that into consideration. Completing and returning of the 30-day notice to vacate. There was an email that had gone out a few weeks ago. I think we've also sent another reminder email out, just giving everyone that 30-day notice to vacate ahead of time so that you can kind of begin to work those pieces that are necessary. That 30-day notice to vacate, it does need to be returned to our office, which you are welcome to do either email to our team members, or you can bring that in person if you are more comfortable doing that. Along with that should include a copy of your new orders or follow-on orders and your transportation information. So essentially your requested dates and what your first transportation requested date is. We do fully understand that those transportation dates could very much change down to the last minute and the last day. We are very accommodating with that. We know that that can happen, and we will work through those pieces with you guys one-on-one. Those 30-day notices to vacate, the deadline for those, unless there are circumstances that you are not able to, the no later than date to return those would be the Wednesday, the 27th of April to our office. Again, if there are circumstances that limit you from being able to turn that in, please make sure that you have those conversations with our team. We will work through whatever the necessary pieces are. Current Blue Star families. So any families that are currently in student housing that are here as a Blue Star this year. If any of them are on the phone tonight, one piece of information for them would be that they should absolutely contact us with their estimated date of vacate so that we can work that into our planning of the departing homes and the incoming families. Final inspections. So your final move out inspection, this piece will be a little different this year. We are actually going back to the in-person inspections, which I am happy to be doing. I know that the rest of our team is as well. It's definitely time for us to kind of get some face-to-face with everyone again. So we are doing the final move out inspections. The times available are between 8 and 11 a.m. and 2 and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Each inspection will be scheduled in a 30-minute increment, and they will be in person. No Saturday, Sunday, or holiday inspections unless there is a certain circumstance that we need to address and handle. Those are handled on a case-by-case basis. We will work those out individually. If rescheduling is needed, if you get to the day of your final inspection and you know that your transportation company that is loading you is not going to be done in time, please give us a call as soon as you know that so that our team can begin the process of adjusting their schedules and working in a new inspection time for you. Pre-inspection walkthroughs. I mentioned this in the beginning. So the pre-move out inspections will be scheduled. Again, April-May timeframe. You will have an advance notice. The schedule will go out in advance in conjunction with the annual preventative maintenance schedules. These schedules will be sent via email only, so please keep an eye out for those. We do, during the pre-move out inspection, the individuals or representatives from our team will assess for any damages, current flooring condition, so that we know how to move forward as far as turning the home that you're currently in, and any time-consuming repairs that would be necessary. This is all for our planning process and the turn of your current residence. Cleaning. Minimum cleaning standards are required to clear quarters. This specific minimum cleaning standard sheet is included in the 30-day notice to vacate packet. I do not have a problem sending an individual copy of that to everyone along with these slides tomorrow after this call so that you have it to refer back to. Additional charges may apply if cleaning and/or damages are beyond normal wear and tear. Again, normal wear and tear. Obviously, if you are living in a home for 10 months and you have some scuffs on the walls, we understand that. If there is significant cleaning necessary, trash left behind, holes in walls, any kind of damage of that nature, that is subject to any charges. By all means, I tell everyone, please be upfront with our teammates because we'll work through those. I am not a fan of charging for every little tiny thing, but we do need to make sure that we are consistent across the board. So please have those conversations. If there's a conversation that we need to have in advance, we are welcome to that. And if there are any questions about things that you have noticed while you were there and you're concerned about your move-in or move-out inspection, please bring those up ahead of time and we'll work through those. Trash and recycling bins. All trash and recycling bins must be emptied and cleaned out. We will make sure that all of those bins are at each corresponding residence as well when we're doing those inspections, and we will check those to ensure that they are emptied and cleaned. Flower beds do need to be weeded. Any grounds or your yard that would have been damaged by pets or outdoor equipment, or any holes maybe in the ground from any kind of outdoor equipment or pet, that should all be either backfilled if it's a hole and then properly seeded. Our maintenance team does have, and I believe forgive me for not having the full detail this evening, but we're still working some pieces. The self-help, I believe, is starting to come back here shortly, should be before your departure. In that self-help at our maintenance shop typically is any of that seating material. So just keep an eye out for any of that coming back around as far as when that self-help opens. General area around the home should be free of trash and pet waste. It is imperative that we make sure that any pet waste is picked up prior to your departure. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the chat here for a second. There was a question that came in. Is there a plan to have extra waste dumpsters located around posts to discard of items? There is not a plan to have extra dumpsters for discarding of items. However, what I will tell you is we do pay for bulk service on a weekly basis for every single home on post. Please make sure you utilize that. It is free of charge to you guys. There is also the upcoming yard sale that will be happening before your departure. Great way of being able to kind of dispose of things that maybe you don't want to take with you. If there's any specific reason, such as someone is vacating the night before trash goes, you were there for an entire week since trash had gone, and you're trying to dispose of that trash before you move out tomorrow, reach out to us. We will be able to coordinate something for you and not have that be a charge to you. Okay, allotment choices. So when you are vacating and filling out your 30-day notice to vacate, there is a form in there for the option, which is choice 1, which is the stop allotment. This is for those individuals that currently have an allotment in place. If you have an allotment in place and you want to stop that allotment prior to your departure, you have to follow 3 things. So the prepay of the prorated rent for June must be paid by May 13th by noon. So essentially, keep in mind all of our rental amounts you are building in arrears. So essentially, your June rent would not come to us until July 1. The intent of the stop allotment is to stop it prior to your departure in, hypothetically speaking, June. The move-out prorate will need to be paid via the resident portal or a check to our office. And again, one thing I will always stress is if you choose this option, please make sure that you sign that paper in your 30-day notice and you make sure that you pay the required prorate by the date of May 13th, 2022, and that is assuming you are departing in June. If you are departing in May, my team will document that and give you the due date based on when you are leaving. The other option would be to continue with your allotment until the day you vacate. We will collect the allotment end of move out month. So for instance, if you are departing in June 15th, that allotment will continue through June. We will collect that June 1, and then we will refund, hypothetically speaking, half a month's rent to you once that allotment is received. Typically, this turnaround is usually about 10 to 20 days after the first of the month. This is paid out via EFT to the account of your choosing. So please make sure that when you are coordinating this with my team or when you are working your final move out documents, the day of your final inspection, please make sure to provide us with a voided check or bank account information of where you want your credit to be deposited. In addition, direct pay residents. These are the residents that we were unable to collect allotment for. Marines, I believe, some National Guard reservists. Those are individuals that direct pay, you had to go onto the resident portal, set up an ACH. All of your prorated rent due should be prior to your move out date or at the very latest, your move out date. Our team will show up at the home with what we call a BAH reconciliation, and they will show you exactly what your prorate is if it has not been paid already. Okay, final inspection day. A couple key things that we like to make sure everyone's aware of. Final inspection day must ensure all of your personal items are removed from the home and the home is ready for inspection. If there are still personal belongings within the home, our team cannot do the final inspection. Ensure you have all keys that you signed for ready to turn into our representative at your final inspection. Along with that, both garage door remotes. If you are in Young Hall, you don't have those, but if you are in Heritage or Meadows, you would. And then any unpaid charges, such as cleaning, damages, prorated rent that was not paid for some reason, that will be added to your resident portal, and it should be paid promptly. Our team will suggest that you pay it the day of your leaving. Your resident portal can be accessed for 30 days after you move out. After 30 days, you no longer have access and are unable to pay via the resident portal. So please keep this in mind. As long as you have access to the resident portal, you can pay via credit card or banking account information. You can also pay these charges the day of move out to our office via check if necessary, or via the resident portal again. Forwarding address. This will need to be provided to the resident specialist or a representative if you have not already done so. That is an option to fill out on your 30-day notice to vacate. So if you've already completed that, no worries, you don't have to deal with that. But if we do not have it, they will suggest you provide us with one. Disconnecting of cable and telephone and internet services. If you have cable, telephone, or internet services, we had Xfinity and Comcast here over the summer. Some of you may have chosen to use them or use another service provider. Xfinity and Comcast, the equipment must be returned and it must be disconnected via a phone call to Xfinity or Comcast. That is something that you will need to ensure is done, is that disconnect request. And then I do have a slide here. We will talk about how to actually return that equipment. Any nail holes that are larger than a quarter should be spackled. Satellite equipment, if any, must be removed from the property prior to the final inspection. And then Young Hall specifically, your storage units should be cleared out completely and broom swept. This is our slide for Xfinity or Comcast equipment returns. So there are a couple different ways you can return them. They've made it a lot easier because the local office is unfortunately not the closest. It is in Shippensburg. So rather than having you drive 45 minutes to an hour away, we have this Comcast Xfinity, they have this option set up. So via UPS pickup with prepaid postage, which you can do online if you sign in and visit the equipment return page. You can visit a local UPS store. And you can also, this link here of the upsstore.com/tools, find a store that will help you locate the closest one. They will package the equipment up and for you, you'll receive a physical receipt of your tracking number. and they will send it off and return it to Xfinity. You can also package the equipment yourself if you would prefer to do so, and also take it to the UPS store. Few helpful tips for everyone as I'm closing up here with some of our information for you. Opening all cabinet doors and drawers is a good way to prepare for us coming in. It makes the move-out inspection much quicker, easier for us to kind of get through the property and ensure that you guys are good to go so that you can be on your way. Please lower all the blinds in the home and remove all trash. There should be no trash left behind. And then once the final inspection is complete and keys are turned over to our representative, the home will be locked and you'll have to depart. We will go into questions here in a minute, but I just want to take a minute to congratulate everyone on the graduation this year. We always look forward to the new classes coming in. It's unfortunate that in the times we are in, we have been able to do less face-to-face interaction, but we're really happy to be doing that while we're doing your move-outs. Please let me know if there is anything that we can help you with, answer for you. My door is always open. I am located in the Delaney Clubhouse. And I am also available via email or phone if you have questions. Again, my name is Kristen. I'm the community manager. If I didn't meet you on your way in, I hope to see you before you leave. It's been our pleasure serving you. And keep in mind, we do a $250 reward if you are going to another location that has Balfour Beatty housing. Make sure to let our girls know so that we can make sure that you guys receive that $250 reward if you move onto a Balfour Beatty housing post when you leave here. It's part of our Coast to Coast loyalty program. There is a document that we'll have to sign and send over, so just make sure you let us know. With that said, I will open the floor up to questions. You can either place them in the chat or you can unmute yourself and speak if you'd like. If there are no questions, you guys can drop off, or I will hang out for a few minutes and answer what I can.
Yes, good evening. Got a quick question.
Yes.
For students, and I may have missed this in the brief, and I apologize if it was covered.
Sure.
For students who are sharing homes here on Carlisle Barracks, there's 3 of us in a house and we're leaving on 3 different dates. So how does the walkthrough work for us?
Great question. So I apologize, I did not cover that. The move outs for our Geo Bachelor homes, if you are all 3 leaving on a different date, all 3 of you are required to submit your own notice to vacate packet. And then along with that, we coordinate that final move out. That inspection ultimately happens 3 times. So the inspection will be on whatever room you are occupying and then a general overview of the home. Then we will record that. We will do the same with the next person departing and the same with the following. So then we have recorded and documented the condition of the home before each individual person leaves.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that keeps my roommates from punching holes in my bedroom wall after I work.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very welcome, sir.